Okay, y'all. This thing going here in a minute. Um, just trying to let y'all come in. All right, y'all. So yeah, I just want to get on here and do my thoughts on this decision on one particular fight. Um, I'm not gonna do the. I'm not gonna talk about the whole card yet. I'm I'm not talking about the whole card on this live stream. I ain't gonna be on here too long. I'll talk about the whole card tomorrow because I still got to watch the last fight. I watched, you know, I watched every fight except the very last fight. I had to stop here because I wanted to give my thoughts on this one, and I was just a little bit, I was disgusted, man. I was disgusted once again, man, with another bad decision. Um, yeah, so we're gonna get started here in a minute. Yeah, Two Beats, what's going on, man? Oh man, like I said, let me get on here and talk about this robbery once again, another robbery. So yeah, that's what we focus on this live stream, y'all. We just talk about this particular fight and just my thoughts on it. We'll talk about all the fights tomorrow. We'll do all that tomorrow because after I get off of here, um, I'm gonna watch the last fight on the card. I'm gonna watch that main fight. So, but yeah, crazy stuff again, man. I'm like, what? I'm like, what are these judges watching? What are they watching, man? Like, I know that their scoring system is different. They're judging the fight as a whole. But to me, judging the fight as a whole should have made it a little bit easier. Like it should have made it a lot easier. Like all you have to do is just kind of pick up where you left off and put it together as a whole. And if you see one person just constantly being more so effective, more so aggressive, and doing doing the better overall work as a fighter, that should make it easier for you, right? That should make it a lot easier for you because you don't really have to judge it round by round, right? You don't have to say, oh, like this person landed more strikes, up this person landed a takedown, or this person got a takedown, and then it makes it kind of hard because you don't know whose takedown was better because you're not used to scoring, or you don't know the fight game. Let's put it that way. You're used to scoring, but you're not used to scoring the correct way because you don't really know the fight game, right? But with this system, right, if the fight scored as a whole, it should make it easier for these judges to just say, okay, well, let me ignore the rest breaks and just wait for the fight to continue. And that's kind of where I pick up where I left off at and say, okay, this person looks like they're doing the most damage. This person looks like they're winning. It looks like they're doing more work, you know? So yeah, Denice Zamboanga versus Seo Hee Ham. Probably, yeah, like the worst decision on the card for sure. Well, definitely the worst decision. I don't think the other ones were as bad, but this one decision just had me like, oh wow, like what is it? What was their angle in this one, man? Like what was their angle? It's crushing because you had a young tough fighter like Zamawanga, undefeated, you know, coming in there ready to make a statement, um, taking on one of the top veterans in ONE FC in the atomweight division in Ham, and um, I think she did a fair job of getting the fight done, getting the job done, winning the fight. When it came down to it, she was definitely in there facing adversity. She was definitely you could tell she was new to that style that uh, Soul was bringing to the table. But overall, in my opinion, I think she handled it well. Like there were a couple of times where I said, okay, she's not used to fighting the southpaw striker like this. That's controlling the distance. eventually she's gonna have to bum rush. She can't stay on the outside forever. And what she do? She let it go, right? She came in behind the right hand and pressed the fight to the cage, and that is what you do against a southpaw, whether it be boxing or MMA. If you're dealing with the southpaw striker, you have to be able to take them off of their balance, take them off of their feet, because a southpaw's angle, is awkward. It's awkward to an orthodox fighter. You're not used to it. You're not used to where the jab is going to come from and where the straight left hand is going to come from, right? So you have to be able to take them off of setting their feet. That's why they say you can back a southpaw up, or you have to back one up. And that's what she did. That first round, I thought she did a. I know that Soul landed maybe what, a couple of good left hands, but as soon as she took like a couple of those left hands, she came in behind the right hand and pressed the fight into the phone booth where she wanted it. The first round was, I thought, pretty much open and shut. It may have not been what people wanted to see. It may have been a little bit, okay, boring, but that's what you got to do. You got to work from the inside. You got to maul and you got to pressure. And I thought she did a good job of doing that. Cutting that, cutting those angles off and just pressing in. To be said, this or Miranda's robbery. They're both bad to me. I think they're both up there. Like I don't want to have to make videos like this, but I might have to do a three the top three robberies of 2021. You know what I mean? Like I might have to do that video. Like yeah, that's something we want to avoid, but it's something that has to be it's something that has to be brought up, man, because it's telling us that look, maybe y'all need a better scoring system, or maybe you need more competent judges. Which is it, right? So they both they both are they're both ranked pretty high up there. But if you want me to pick, I'd probably say I think I would definitely say this one because it was just so open and shut. You know, I think what made it tough for people in the Miranda Macy fight was that second round. But even then, like I said, to me, the second round with Miranda Macy was open and shut because Miranda was so much more effective. So when you think about it, I don't know what people were looking at in that fight as well. But this one, since you judge the fight as a whole, to me, since you're judging this fight as a whole, it should make it easier to say, oh wow, this girl, she's really pressing the fight. Like she's shutting her range down. She's shutting her range down. She's landing some head kicks. She's landing good right hands on the inside. Every time Seo Hee Ham would come in, she would get cracked with the right hand. And a couple of times when I was messing with my volume, I had turned the sound up on this fight, and I had heard somebody, not even they acknowledged like what Seo Hee Ham done at one point, but it was Zamboanga that had done the effective work. Like Zamboanga was the one that had landed like a couple good right hands, and they didn't even acknowledge that. So I was like, what are they watching? So I went back to mute. You know, I don't know that commentator. Like, that commentator was something else, man. I had to, you know, like I said, sometimes when I would kind of restart my browser and the sound would come on, I would just let it play a little bit. I was like, who doing this commentating here? you know. So don't. That's why I never let that stuff distract me. But anyway, it was like they weren't really acknowledging what she was doing, the work that she was doing. I think that Denice was overall just the most effective in this fight. Of course, the better striker was Ham, right? Ham was definitely the better striker, but what did Denice do to get out of that funk, to get her out of that rhythm? She would take it inside, and I thought she capped it off nice with that takedown in the last round. Big takedown in that last round. She really went after it. That's what impressed me. Like she knew she had to make a big statement on this one, and hang on. I had, I had to take some notes on all of these fights because we talk about it tomorrow. But let me see, what was I saying about the third round here? Hang on. Yeah, because Seo Hee Ham, she went back to a couple 1-2s, right? went back to a couple 1-2s in that third round, and I thought it was catch up time for Seo Hee Ham at that point. I thought it was catch up time for her, but apparently, they had her winning the fight. Denice again started making some nice adjustments in that third round though, measuring nice when she started landing head kicks. I think was it the third round where didn't she land a big head kick on Denice? It looked like Denice bout was kind of stunned, like she kind of staggered a little bit after eating one of them head kicks. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. That's what I thought I saw. I saw a big head kick land and kind of staggered her. But I like what Denice was doing with the measuring. She started measuring leg kicks and she started targeting like, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to score a knockout at this point. She never really took her foot off the gas in this fight, even after the headbutt. The headbutt opened up the cut, and I think that's what really, yeah, that's what got her going. That's what really got her going because after she got the headbutt, she knew that hey, fight might get stopped on blood or blood might get in my eyes. So she went right after and picked her up, slammed her, and I thought to me that was like the explanation point right there. Like maybe had like a minute left, but from there, that just kind of turned the tables on anything that was bringing to the table, in my opinion. And I thought she won the fight. I thought she clearly won the fight. I mean, good moments and a couple of frustrating moments with the striking from Ham, but to me, it was just that Zamboanga eventually adjusted to the style. She said, I'm not going to stay on the outside this long. I'm going to start countering with my right hand. I'm going to take it on the inside. Um, Still, you could tell it was still like something she never faced before. There was still some green moments dealing with that type of level of striker, but she handled it well. She did what she was supposed to do. She did what she was supposed to do. It was still rough around the edges, but it was clear. It was clear winner, man. 2B said, I watched it back in slow motion. Every exchange at distance. The second round, Denice outlanded her. The first round, landed one left hand the whole round. That was her only strike. Yeah, yeah. She landed a good straight left hand in the first round, and from there it was like she couldn't really get the rhythm going. Like she kept pawing with that jab. She does that little clamp jab, little Pac-Man jab, where she be like trying to, grab your hand when you throw your jab. But I thought that Denice Zamboanga really handled it well. Her right hand was finding his home. It was money. It was landed every time Ham would step in. Boom, she would hit it with the right hand. You could hear a couple of them too. So I think she took a educated approach as much as she could. And when you look at it as a whole, again, effective work and just overall performance, dominance. Who had the more dominant moments in the fight? Who did the better in exchanges? And who did the cleaner work? It was Zamboanga to me, Denice Zamboanga, because Seo Hee Ham was controlling the outside, but not enough. You know, um, it seemed like that was all she had, just to stand up. Just to stand up to try to pick her shots from the outside. It was kind of similar to how when she fought JoJo in the UFC. I think JoJo did a much more dominant job. She was bigger and more experienced at the time. She's a Muay Thai fighter too, so I think JoJo did a little bit more work, early on, but Denise did enough here. It was. I thought it was locking stock, man. But that's messed up, man. Now she's 8-1. Um, I don't know if they're going to try to get that fight decision overturned. I don't know what they could do to do that right now, but I didn't even look at the stats after the fight was over. Did they show the stats? Does one show punch stats? Anything like that? I wasn't really paying attention to that this time. Like after a fight would go, I would just do whatever. I would take a little note here and there, turn my attention back to the fight. So to the next fight. So I wasn't really paying attention. Like, with stats being shown on these fights? Yeah, but yeah, this definitely ranks up there. It's crazy because I haven't had to I haven't had to call robbery this many times in a year before, man. Like, wow. And y'all know how I feel about what we call robberies. Like, I've said it before. Like, whenever people call a fight a robbery, in the past, I would always have to say, "Well, it's not a robbery, man. Like, it's close. It's close. It's just that you playing, favoritism because that's your fighter." But there's just been some straight up robberies now. I mean, you can see it on stats, see it in performance wise, and you can see it when it comes down to reaction. Like, people will say, "Oh, you just saying Miranda won because you like her style, you're a fan of her over Macy." I was like, "Nah, man. Like, you got people that are not fans of Miranda that are saying Miranda won the fight. You got Macy Barber fans saying that Macy Barber lost the fight. People that are fans of Macy thought she lost the fight. So, and I'm sure the same thing goes here. I was kind of looking at comment section to the result playback, and some people that aren't even riding for Denice, they were like, "Oh, she won the fight." She won the fight. But good moments, just a few good moments from Seo Hee Ham in this fight, but not enough to control this thing. Like, I really had to kind of take my mind out of judging this like a UFC fight, round by round. It's just like when a one round finishes, you just have to kind of wait for that little pause and go right back into it. You know what I mean? Like, when they go back to the corner and whatnot, you have to kind of ignore like that was the end of one fight. You have to just say, "Oh, it's gonna play out like one whole fight," since they're scored differently. But that's my thoughts. Um, like I said, I'll probably come back and talk about it again later since I'm in the middle of something right now, and I feel like there's a few other points that I wanted to cover because it was quite a few fights I've been watching, and I don't want to get highlights mixed up from another fight, so I'll probably come back on and talk about it. But yeah, Saturday, I did see Molly McCann and Ji Kim. Kim. I think some people were saying that they felt Kim won that fight, and I don't think so. I'll talk about that fight too, but uh, I think I can definitely see where Molly took it. I can definitely see how Molly won the fight for sure because Kim was kind of pissing me off with some of the stuff she was doing. Somebody with a 10-inch reach advantage and that big and that lanky should not be letting somebody dog them out like that. Like, early talk here, real quick. Molly McCann was dogging, boy. Molly McCann's a dog when she can be. If you don't have a ground game, if you don't have a ground game, yeah, she will dog you. She will dog you out. Yeah, she will dog you out, bro. Because she knew this fight was gonna be a stand-up fight, so she was just like, "Oh man, like, I'm gonna do whatever I want here. I'm gonna dog this girl out." you know. So I don't really see this fight as like a robbery though. I didn't see this fight as like a close decision. I could see where Molly took it. Like I said, I want to go back and look at it again, but to me, yeah, that was pretty fair. But this one, man, no, no, no. This one here was clear that Zamboanga won the fight. You know, I think Zamboanga definitely won this fight. I mean, hey, anybody disagree though? That's the question. Did anybody disagree with it? Oh, snap. Act up here. I was just checking something out here. Yeah, that. So, hang on one second. Hold on. He said 1-1 at distance in the first round, about 12-9 in favor of Denice for significant strikes that I counted in the second. And third, isn't enough for debate. They didn't show stats. Yeah, I didn't think they did. I didn't think they showed any stats, man. Yeah, Robert. Yeah, word. Yeah, that's what I said. Like, as I was saying just a minute ago. Yeah, that's what robbery stands for. That's basically what you could call people out on a lot of the times when they say robbery. Just like I said, yeah, like you use the word robbery when your favorite fighter loses a close decision. You say that, oh, this person lost. My fighter won, but it's clearly a close razor thin decision. That's not a robbery. That's not a robbery. I mean, like I said, robbery is whenever you just straight up take somebody's hard work from them, and that's what happened here, man. Like they just straight up took the fight from somebody who worked hard for it that didn't deserve it. That's what a robbery is, man. That's straight up what a robbery is. Mm. Even like to be saying, even like the exchanges at a distance, even those exchanges at a distance were, they the shots they thought that she was landing, they thought were effective. But in my opinion, I was like, man, it seemed like the right hand is landing harder and much more effective for for um for Denice. To be said, you should check out ONE FC's video of the highlights for their fight. It's twice as many dislikes. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I saw it. I saw it. Yeah, because that's where I was looking at the result again, and I thought the result might show the stats. So I pulled that video up and I saw, man, it was like a thousand, it was like thousand something dislikes. I was like, yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. It's up there with the Macy Barber one, I think. Yeah, it's up there with I think the Miranda Macy had a high dislike too. Like, I think the not Miranda's, but Macy Barber, her post fight after that win over Miranda, it had a lot of dislikes too. Yeah, it was a cooking show, man. They was cooking something up, man. Yeah, I really can't stand when they do stuff like that, man. I really can't. I just can't stand that, man, because then it takes you away from the fight. Like, oh man, somebody worked this hard and they're just gonna take it away from you, you know? Hmm. Yeah, man. But yeah, like I said, I just wanted to get on here and talk about this fight real quick with y'all. Um, just let you know I am watching, or I was watching. I got to go back and look at the main event now, though. And yeah, I'm gonna get back on tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow we'll talk about uh we'll talk about the whole card. We'll talk about all the quarterfinal fights and everything. We'll discuss that tomorrow. Uh, oh, I will say this though, man. That Stan Fairtex fight, that fight was closer this time around, man. Like, that loss must did something to her last time, even if it wasn't like devastating. Like, it must did something to her, man. you know. But yeah, man. Let me get up out of here. Just let me know in the comment section if y'all come in later. What do y'all think? Who y'all think won the fight? You think Denice won, or do you think So won? And yeah, we will talk more tomorrow. I get back on 7. We'll talk about 1FC tomorrow as a whole. Yeah, really, really just left a bad taste in my mouth though, man. This just all around bad decision. I hate crap like this, man. Yeah, I really, really can't stand it. That's three bad decisions. Like each one gets worse than the first time you watched it. You know what I mean? Like it gets worse and worse each time, man. So yeah, I'm up out of here, guys. And yeah, like always, make sure y'all subscribe. Combo Breaker 99. I am out. Subscribe. Peace.